Welcome back to Let's Get Cooking. It's your girl Rashida, and I'm so excited about today's recipe. It is the easiest, quickest way to make homemade applesauce. If you bought it from the store, you'll never want to do it again. Let's start cooking. So for this recipe, I'm using 4 apples. I'm using 4 different varieties. I went apple picking, so I have a variety of apples here. You want to use apples that are generally soft in texture with a lot of flavor. I'm using one Granny Smith, but also like a Macintosh is good, a Golden Delicious. A variety is always nice. It just gives a more concentrated apple flavor to your dish. Up next, of course, I am going to peel my apples. Definitely want to use like an apple peeler if you have one, or a knife would work just as good. Once all the apples are peeled, then I'm going to begin to cut them into large chunks and prepare them for the pot. Believe it or not, these 4 apples will only yield about 2 cups, if that, of actual applesauce. So definitely you can double the recipe or triple the recipe in order to have more. Here I'm cutting my apples, and I don't want to cut them into small pieces, but nice large chunks as they're going in the pot, and then they're going to boil for a minute. I don't need them to be too small. They can be just like a rough chop. Then after that, I'm going to place them in a pot, and I'm going to add a couple simple ingredients. I'm adding apple cider. Some people use water, but I think apple cider just heightens the flavor of the applesauce. I'm putting in some cinnamon and a little bit of sugar. You can omit the sugar. You can replace it with honey or maple syrup, but I'm going to add a little bit of brown sugar and white sugar to my applesauce, and those are your ingredients. You have the apples, apple cider, your sugar, and your cinnamon, and that's it. Next, I'm going to pour my apples just into the bowl, just so I can measure. There was about 5 to 6 cups of apple chunks. And just to talk apples for a minute, some other varieties that will be good for applesauce are Honeycrisp apples, Fuji apples, and yeah, those are 2 more that would be great in applesauce. Okay, I'm just taking a medium-sized pot and putting the apples in there. Then I'm going to pour over 1/3 cup of apple cider. I'm using a 1/4 cup of brown sugar and just like a tablespoon of regular sugar and a 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. And if you don't want cinnamon in your applesauce, you can just omit it. I felt this was just gave it a mild burst of cinnamon. It wasn't too strong. If you want more cinnamon, you can add a teaspoon. Once I pour the apple cider into the pot, I'm going to heat it up to about a medium-high heat. Let it start to come to a boil, and then I'm going to cover it and let it cook for about 10 to 15 minutes, and the apples will begin to soften. It may look like that's not enough fluids, but it is plenty. It's going to bubble up, bubble over, because the apples have plenty of moisture and water in them that will come out as they're cooking. For the next few minutes of this video, you will notice the different stages and textures of the apples as they cook. So I'm going to let you just watch and see how they go from this nice firm apple to softer pieces, and I can tell by mixing them and testing them with a spoon as they get softer and they're ready to come off the heat and go into the food processor. So I'm going to just let you see the process of the apples going from firm to soft till we'll see the liquid evaporate, and that's when it's time to take them off the heat and take them to the food processor. So stay tuned and just watch how the apples cook. Here we have our apples in their final stage, ready to be taken and put into the food processor for that final mixing. You see how they've reduced, how the liquid has evaporated. They are ready. They are nice. They are moist, and they're ready for the food processor. And we're going to just take them on into that final stage of applesauce. If you notice, I checked my apples about every 5 minutes and stirred them just to make sure that they were cooking properly. But now I'm going to take my food processor. I let them cool for about 5 or 10 minutes, but they're still pretty warm. And I'm just going to take this filling, put it in the food processor, and mix it. And this only takes about a good 15 to 30 seconds. And after that, I will have complete applesauce. I will let you see them at the first stage when I stop them. I'm going to mix. Look at that. That was maybe 5 or 10 seconds. Just to show you how the applesauce is coming together. Look at that. It looks good at that point. Still a little on the chunky side, so I just gave it one more pulse for a few more seconds. Take a look. That's it right there. Look at this. Look at this. This is homemade applesauce just from 4 apples. It took 30 minutes, if that, to make. And now it's some of the best applesauce that I've ever had. You got to try the recipe. Thanks for coming in the kitchen. Thanks for cooking with me. Let me know if you make this applesauce or if you have another way of making applesauce. Please share in the comments. This was an apple with a burst of cinnamon. And it tastes delicious. Absolutely delicious. My family loved it. Please drop a comment in the comment box if you decide to make it. Let me know how it turns out. I love to hear your comments and your tips. And remember to like, subscribe, share. Once again, like, subscribe, and share this video so I can continue to make many more videos to bring to you all. Take care and have a blessed one. Bye-bye.